God would never want child sacrifice for the Israelites to do that. Then he goes on to say this. Here are the consequences. Does Jesus trump your politics? Here's the bottom line. Being pro-life doesn't necessarily qualify someone as a good candidate, but being pro-abortion necessarily disqualifies someone as a good candidate. You can be pro-life and be terrible on everything else. That doesn't mean you're a good candidate. But if you're pro-abortion, I think that you are majoring in the minors, that you are neglecting the more important matters of the law. In fact, anyone know what this is? This is Molech. This is the god, idol god, a metal god, that the Israelites were sacrificing their children to. This was a Canaanite idol. And they'd heat this thing up in fire, and they would put their children on the arms of this molten hot metal idol known as Molech. The Bible talks about not doing this, quite obviously, in Leviticus 18, a couple other places, and in Jeremiah. Jeremiah, the weeping prophet. When is Jeremiah writing? Jeremiah is writing about the time the exile is going to occur, when Babylon is going to come in and wipe out Jerusalem and take the Israelites to Babylon in exile. And here's what Jeremiah writes. He gets this from God. These people are sacrificing their children to Molech. Here's what happens. The people of Judah have sinned before my very eyes, says the Lord. They have set up their abominable idols right in the temple that bears my name, defiling it. They have built pagan shrines at Topeth, the garbage dump in the valley of Ben Hinnom, which is just to the south of the city of David. I've been there several times. And there they burn their sons and daughters in the fire. I have never commanded such a horrible deed. It never even crossed my mind to command such a thing. God would never want child sacrifice for the Israelites to do that. Then he goes on to say this. Here are the consequences. So beware, for the time is coming, says the Lord, when that garbage dump will no longer be called Topeth or the valley of Ben Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter. They will bury their bodies in Topeth until there is no more room for them. The bodies of my people will be food for the vultures and wild animals, and no one will be left to scare them away. I will put an end to the happy singing and laughter in the streets of Jerusalem. The joyful voices of the bridegrooms and brides will no longer be heard in the towns of Judah. The land will lie in complete desolation. God's own people. Solomon started this about 350 years prior to the judgment. He was burning children to Molech. How much longer does America have doing this? Is he going to end our country soon? Either from within, eternal riot, civil war, external force? I have no idea. I'm just saying that this is what God thinks about sacrificing your children on the altar of convenience. So does abortion trump everything else? Yeah, I think it does. How can it not?